You have a dream. You've had it for months, maybe years. You think about it constantly. You know exactly what you want, and yet you haven't started. Why? Here's something nobody talks about. Dreaming and doing use the same part of your brain. When you imagine achieving your goal, your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical it releases when you actually succeed. So your brain gets a reward without you doing anything. That's the trap. Your mind thinks you're already winning, so it stops pushing you to act. Every time you daydream about your future, you're accidentally telling your brain, "We're good." Researcher Gabriele Oettingen found that people who only visualize success perform worse than people who don't visualize at all. Think about that. Your dreams might actually be slowing you down. But dopamine isn't the only reason. There's something deeper, something most people won't admit: fear. Not fear of failing, fear of what failing would mean about you. See, most dreamers are secretly attached to one thought: if I never try, I never fail. And if I never fail, I can keep believing I could have done it. That belief is your safety net. It feels comfortable, but it's a prison. Psychologist Dweck calls this a fixed mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe talent is something you either have or you don't. So they avoid challenges, because trying and failing would prove they don't have what it takes. And that's a truth they're not ready to face. So they dream, and they wait, and they tell themselves, "I'll start when I'm ready." Here's the twist nobody expects. Some people aren't afraid of failing, they're afraid of succeeding. This sounds strange, but it's real. Because success brings change, new responsibilities, new pressures, new versions of yourself. And the people around you might not like the new you. You might outgrow your friends. Your family might not understand. Your old identity, the dreamer, the potential person, disappears. So, the brain does something clever. It manufactures reasons not to try. It's not the right time. I need more preparation. I should do more research first. These aren't reasons. They're excuses dressed up as logic. And then there's the endless planning loop. You make a list. You buy a book. You watch a tutorial. You open a Google Doc. You rename the file 4 times. You do nothing. Psychologists call this analysis paralysis. The more options you have, the harder it is to choose. The harder it is to choose, the easier it is to do nothing. And perfectionism makes it worse. Perfectionism isn't about high standards. It's about fear disguised as standards. It says, "I won't start until I'm sure it will be perfect." But perfect never comes. Because perfect is a moving target. So the perfectionist waits and plans and researches, and 10 years later, the dream is still a dream. Here's the hard truth. Done is better than perfect. A messy start beats a perfect plan that never starts. Now let's talk about procrastination. Because most people think they're lazy. They're not. Procrastination isn't a time problem. It's an emotion problem. People procrastinate to avoid negative emotions. Anxiety, self-doubt, boredom, overwhelm. The task feels bad, so you avoid it. You scroll, you watch videos, you get ready to get ready. And for a moment, you feel better. But the relief is temporary, and the regret, that's permanent. Every time you avoid the thing, you train your brain to see it as a threat. You make it harder to start next time. Avoidance builds the wall. The most effective behavior change doesn't start with goals. It starts with who you believe you are. If you say, "I want to write a book," that's a goal. But if you say, "I am a writer," that's an identity. And every small action you take either confirms that identity or contradicts it. The dreamer says, "I'll start when I feel like it." The doer says, "I am someone who shows up, even when I don't feel like it." Dream it, then plan for what will get in the way. Step 2. Make the first step embarrassingly small. Don't start a business. Write 1 sentence about your idea. Don't get fit. Do 2 push-ups. Just 2. The goal isn't the 2 push-ups. The goal is becoming someone who shows up. Step 3. Separate your identity from your results. You are not your failures. You are not your successes. You are what you consistently do. Fail fast, learn fast, adjust fast. Step 4. Protect your start, not your finish. Most people wait for motivation to start, but motivation follows action, not the other way around. Start before you're ready. Start badly. Start small, but start. Here's the truth. The gap between dreaming and doing isn't talent. It isn't luck. It isn't resources. It's the stories you tell yourself about why you can't. Every person you admire was once exactly where you are right now. Scared, uncertain, Not ready. They started anyway. The dream doesn't go anywhere, but time does. 1 year from now, you will wish you had started today. So close this video, pick one thing, and take one small, imperfect, uncomfortable step. That's all it takes. One step, then another, then another. That's how dreamers become doers.